Okay, AJ,
So,
would would you rather, if you were a god, your patron animal be cat or ibis? And the ibis is a bird. It's a very long-nosed bird. It's like it's like one of those birds that you see when you're out on the lake that have like the really long nose and the really big wings, and they almost look like flamingos, where they have the long legs and like the thin neck, but the neck is long and they have a long beak.
hmm
Or a cat.
well, what kind of cat are we talking?
Let's see. So this bird is by no means extravagant. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't want to
Yeah.
say stupid little bird or tiger. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's say, hmm, I don't even want to say house cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even then, okay, let's see. A cat. What's a stupid cat? Is there a stupid cat out there?
Yeah. The skinless ones,
Oh
or
gosh.
skinless, furless
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. The Sphinx cats.
Sure. I don't fucking know what they are. They're fucking ugly.
They are. You have to like. There's like some weird. They're really good if you're allergic to cats. But Sphinx cat here. You know, they're called the Sphinx cats. They're not very cute. They're pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Um, they look like ball sacks. Like there's just the babies, especially with all the wrinkles.
Yeah.
I'll send you a photo.
Okay.
But yes, so Sphinx cat or ibis bird.
I'm 100% going ibis bird.
Dang, I think I was gonna do that as well.
You're
Cause
going bird?
yeah, I think I was. I
That's
really think I
surprising.
was. Well, yes, because for people, I'm sure they know. But if you're a new listener, I have two cats. They are not Sphinx cats, because mine are actually cute. Um, I love cats. I love cats so much. I'm a cat guy. I'm not a dog guy. I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but I'm just more of a cat person. And let me tell you, AJ has met my cat. My cat is the size of a dog, so it kind of balances out. Uh,
You
I
you
have
say
a.
size of a dog, but my dogs are a bit bigger.
You have. You have a. What is it? Dame? What is it? Starts with a
I have
D.
a Great Dane,
Great Dane. Yeah.
a German
So
Shepherd,
yeah,
and a German Shepherd mix.
yeah. So that's not very fair, but my cat is the size of like a medium-sized dog.
That's so crazy to me. Sorry, go on a little tangent. Ali said the same thing. That medium-sized dogs are like as big as your cats, I guess.
hmm
I have never grown up with any other size dog than the. I think the smallest dog we have ever had was a lab,
Yeah, which are still
and
big dogs.
oh yeah, they're big dogs. But to me, like a small lab, I guess, is a medium dog, not a large.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I you're talking about the dogs that your parents have, right? Like
Well, fuck. We have been through, and no, we don't fucking
Yeah,
kill our dogs.
I was gonna no, I was gonna say don't say a number. They'll think you kill
We
them.
we have been through a lot of dogs. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Getting into shit, running away, just crap like that. The dogs we have now, or my parents have now, they've had them for fuck 9 years now, 8 years, something like that.
Was it Ace and
Uh,
Bandit? What is it?
yeah, they are. I don't remember
Awesome.
what Bandit. I think Bandit's like a fucking.
He's
Um,
the colored one, right?
yeah, he's a mix of I think several, but we think Ace is a boxer lab mix.
He's very nice. Very big too. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's
they're
got
they're
that
massive.
he's got that boxer head where like his head is massive.
Yeah, they're both like over 100 pounds.
hmm
And then he also has a Rottweiler.
Hmm.
That dog is fucking huge.
They're very nice. I love them very
Oh
much.
yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah,
they're.
I'm a very big dog person. I
Hmm.
have never been a fan of cats, but
He
there's
did
no
say
way
he
I can
likes
go for
my
that.
cat once. He
I
came
do like
over.
Maine Coon cats because
Hmm.
they're nice and fluffy, and most of the Maine Coons I've at least dealt with have been nice.
Hmm.
But
Maine,
any other cat, I'm not a huge fan of.
yeah, Maine Coons are very family orientated cats. They're like the perfect cat if you have babies. They're very uh, temperamental is the I think
Hmm.
is the right word, where like they don't get angry easily and they don't like lash out. Like so m- my sister has little babies and my cat will just allow them to pull on his tail and
Yeah.
grip his hair and pull on it, and he'll just, if he gets tired of it, he'll run to my room and he'll hide there, but he doesn't strike them.
Yeah,
uh,
that's exactly like our dogs.
hmm yeah, which if I were to ever get a dog, I would want a big dog. My
Oh yeah.
dream dog is a Newfoundland.
I don't remember what those are. I can't place them anywhere right now.
uh, they're nicknamed the Newfies, but
Hold on.
here,
Can you pause it?
guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I've just sent a link to Newfoundland dogs. So let's see what he thinks of these, because these are, if I had a dog, I think this is the dog that I would want to have.
That's a bear, dude.
It's, yeah, it's massive. Do you see the
Oh,
one where
I'd love a dog like
he's
that.
being groomed and he's literally the size of the girl that's grooming him? Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is I don't know how good these would be to have in like our area if it gets really hot. Are they going to be like
Yeah.
huskies where like huskies can get overheated very easily?
Yeah, probably not a good
Yeah,
idea.
because they have a ton of hair. But yeah, they're basically like, and they like a Newfoundland is like kind of like a Saint Bernard, I think is what it is. Is it Saint Bernards that are like fucking kill wolves? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Saint Bernards are huge dogs. They don't have this long of fur, I don't think, though.
Yeah, they're a little shorter haired, but like they're like bred to fucking hunt bears and wolves, like and protect like sheep and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, if I had a dog, that's what I would have. Anyways, little tangent there. So we've decided we like the bird instead of the cat. Um, so our second would you rather is, would you rather have a battle of might versus their Sir Poppard? And the Sir Poppard is the harbinger of chaos. He is the body of a leopard and the head of a snake. Um, in some
Oh, hold on.
depictions,
Oh, sorry. I think you're gonna say it right here. Forget me.
some some depictions have the head of the cat with just like the neck of the snake. Is that what you were gonna say?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think in most depictions it is the body and the head and neck of the snake. So body and head of cat and neck of snake.
Right.
Um, so basically a leopard with like a 7 foot long neck, which is terrifying. Or would you rather have a battle of wits versus the Sphinx? And
Oh man.
I think everyone knows, or has at least heard of the Sphinx. It tells riddles. If you don't answer them right, you die.
See, I didn't know until today we were looking up would you rather's that the Sphinx does riddles.
Really?
Yeah. The only riddle thing I knew of is Giannis.
Mm.
Yeah.
The Sphinx are basically, they guard wisdom, is in one way that it's put. Um, they're actually unaggressive, and they're often female, and they're not unaggressive, but they're kind of like snobby, right? And they guard treasures or uh, hoard knowledge and don't allow people to pass unless they can solve their riddles.
Okay, my question is, so the punishment is death if you get the riddle wrong?
In most cases, yeah.
Okay, so what about in our case?
Um, okay, how about we put it this way? Would you rather fight to the death with the Sir Poppard, loser dies, you know, or
Hmm.
get locked in a room with the Sphinx, and if you cannot answer his riddles, you die. So think about it as if you were back against the wall in some like really weird scenario, and you have two doors in front of you. You could die from either one. Would you rather chance it on your strength, or would you rather chance it on your knowledge?
Second question.
Yes.
Do I have like a pen and paper so I can like dissect this fucking riddle?
Hmm. Let's say you have a single sword and a single uh I was gonna say cell phone, but
That made it easier.
notepad, notepad and pen.
Oh, okay, I'm taking Sphinx.
Okay.
I'm testing my fucking knowledge because I know damn well I'm not beating shit with my strength.
You know,
So,
I was gonna say, like, I think initially I would lean towards the same thing, but I think realistically I would want to fight the Sir Poppard. Um, just because I feel like the Sphinx, which guards knowledge, would kind of try and screw you over. Maybe ask something that you literally would never know the answer to because the answer is like a word you've never heard of or an animal that you've never heard of. You know what I mean?
hmm.
Because I don't know the extent of others' knowledge. I know the extent of my strength. And I would rather uh, go with the thing that I have more faith in, which in a battle of knowledge, even though I am, you know, decently smart, I still think that the cards could be rigged against me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. But on my side, so I'm not neither smart or that strong, but I think I'm still taking the Sphinx. And the reason is because I feel like that's the only possible chance that I have.
Well, I will say, I think generally the stuff, like the questions in the like stories that the Sphinx acts, are pretty simple. Like the answers are actually pretty mundane and like common knowledge stuff, but it's phrased in a way that's very hard to figure out. I think I would rather try my hand with the sword because if I answer the question wrong and I just cannot figure it out, I die.
See, to me, it's I'm gonna die either way. So I'm gonna go down with in my head what is the highest possible chance of living, whether
Your
I get
best
fucked
chance.
over or not.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna take the Sphinx. And I also absolutely love riddles. I'm
Hmm.
terrible at them, but I love doing riddles.
It's true. It's true. AJ would use riddles in our D&D sessions all the time. So,
Oh yeah,
and now that I remember that, this is kind of a no-brainer for you. Yeah.
yeah. I'm 100% going riddles.
Okay. Okay, so now our third one is, would you rather lead the dead through the Duat? And the Duat is a very treacherous place. It is where the dead go before they get to the afterlife. It is full of just ugly monsters, bad people. The monsters that live in the Duat are described as having the body of a human, but the head and hands of like knives, animals, insects, even fire. So, would you rather lead a group of people through that area or be the one that judges the dead?
I'm judging the dead.
Okay.
And the reason I'm judging the dead, this is I guess, a big personal one. I grew up in a pretty heavily, growing up, is pretty heavily Christian. Thou
Hmm.
shalt, the whole thou shalt not judge. And I felt like I've stuck to that through my whole life so far. I don't really judge people. At least, I'm not going to say I don't because everybody judges whether you say so or not. But I at least don't judge them until I've talked to them and or done stuff, I guess, with them.
Just
So
hearing about them or seeing.
yeah, so being able to just say, okay, fuck you, bye, just via a single site. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Well, see, to me, honestly, this seems like a no-brainer. Because one, you have to fight monsters. Two, you just judge people. But I kind of want to change it up and say you have to judge people by the stories they tell you, and if you're wrong, you get punished. Um, because then
Do
it
I
kind
have
of,
a sorry?
I was gonna say, because then it kind of puts like a little bit of actual danger that makes you want to do your job right. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah,
makes it harder to do it.
do I have any type of like scale that can help me weigh the pros
So,
and cons, I guess?
so in Egyptian mythology, they would take the heart of the person being judged and they would place it on a scale. On the other end of the scale, they would put a feather. And if the heart had basically sins um, that were heavier than the weight of a single feather, then their heart was eaten by Amit the Devourer and they were sent to Egyptian hell. That
Okay.
seems pretty easy because you don't actually do anything. You just put their heart on the scale, and then it's not
Yeah.
hard to determine from there or not. So I don't know, man. That's a little. How would we do that then?
I think I'm still either situation I'm skill or not. I think I'm still judging people.
Hmm. See, the only reason I would say I would rather lead the dead through the duat is because this is basically a would you rather be Ra or would you rather be Anubis? Because Anubis judges the dead and Ra leads the dead through the duat. And if you remember, I actually talked about how the monsters in the duat were mostly scared of Ra. They
Right.
say there's actually like two depictions of the story. In one depiction, he fights through them and comes out unharmed every single time. And then the other depiction is that the monsters are kind of terrified and stay away from him. In that case, yeah, I'd kind of like to be Raw because he is, omniscient and super fucking powerful, I
Yeah.
guess.
In that situation, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be taking Ross side, but I'm how I was thinking of it. We were just some schmo Joe
Yeah,
god, and they're not. We would have to fucking fight our way through every single day.
yeah,
You
that
might get
would
proficient at it or whatever, but I'm
not
still going judging. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going judge because I feel like and they tell me their story, and I feel like you can
think you're a pretty good judge of character.
not necessarily judge a character. I just feel like I can catch somebody in a lie pretty easily.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Everybody has a telltale sign when they lie.
hmm
And
say
just
you
to
were
give you guys a
fucking,
hint, if you don't know, when they're it's when their voice gets high pitched, usually lying.
or if
And
they look to the left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So high pitched, look to the left, and the third one is they just get jittery. I guess
Hmm.
those are.
Anxious.
Yeah. Yeah. They get anxious. Those are three really big ones.
Hmm. There's an entire study, by the way, on how to tell if people are lying or telling the truth based off the movements of their eye. And it's
Mm-hmm.
actually like has scientific evidence behind it because your eyes will actually move in certain directions depending on how you are thinking, how your brain is working through certain things. Like if you're remembering something, your eyes look to the right, and if you're making up something, they look left, which is why I say if you see someone like talking and they keep looking left or their eyes look left, they're probably making it up or lying.
Right. But there's also it's really it's weird and it's really really hard, but you can get around it if you know what you're if you realize what you're doing or if you realize what you're going to do, you can stop it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, like it's not a perfect science because people can control themselves. It's just more like people don't expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were talking to a salesperson on the street, they're not going to expect you to know like the tells of lying. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, it probably wouldn't help so much in the case if you were like interrogating someone. But
True, yeah.
yes. And the reason I brought up Anubis is because we actually have a story about him later. It's a short story. I have two
Sweet.
shorter stories today. One about Isis and one about Anubis. Um, and I will start with the Isis one, longer of the two. It is called Isis and the Seven Scorpions. It is actually told from the perspective of Isis.
Oh shit.
So you'll hear me speak um, and say like I instead of she because of the way the story is written. Um, so basically, if I remember right, because it's not written down, but if I remember right, this story takes place either while Isis was pregnant with Horus or right after.
Okay.
I am Isis, the great goddess, the mistress of magic, the speaker of spells. I came out of my house which brother Set had given to me, for Thoth had called for me. Thoth, uh, which is the Egyptian god of knowledge. So it says, He called, and I came forth when Ra descended in glory to the western horizon of heaven, and it was evening. And with me came the seven scorpions. Their names were Tephen, Bephen, Mestet, Mestiphef, Petet, Thetit, and Matet.
Jeez.
Sorry, that's the first time I've said those out loud. um, and she says, Behind me were Tephen and Bephen. On either side were Mestet and Mestephef. In front were Petet, Thetet, and Metet, clearing the way that none should oppose or hinder my journey. I called aloud, and my words rang through the air and entered into their ears. Beware the black one, call not the red one, and look neither at children nor at small helpless creatures. So I think in here, black one could possibly be set, but red one could also possibly be set. Um, Otherwise, I have no idea who those are. I
Okay.
have no idea who those could be, like alluding to. I think Ra's color is red, but I think Set is also um kind of associated with that color. Like I think he creates sandstorms that have like that are red. Um, but I think she's kind of basically what she's doing is telling the scorpions like, you're protecting me, but don't attack children or creatures that like don't know what they're doing. But like if a fucking lion tried to attack her or if a man tried to attack her, then the scorpions would come out and fuck him up, basically. So It says that she wandered through the land of Egypt and came near houses where the marsh people dwelt. And the name of one of the women in the area was Glory, though some called her Strength. She stood at her door, and from afar she saw me, wayworn and weary. Uh, I would, it says, I would fain have sat me down in her house for rest. And what I think that means is I would like her to take me in and let me rest. But when I started to speak to her, she shut the door in my face, for she feared the seven scorpions. I went farther, and one of the marsh women opened her door, and in her house I rested. But Mestet and Mestetheth, Petet, Thethet, Malet, and Bethan also came together and laid their poison upon the sting of Tephan. Thus his sting had sevenfold power. Tephan returned to the home of the woman Glory, who she had closed her door against me. The door was shut, but between it and the threshold was a narrow space. Through this space Tephan creeped and entered into the house, and stung with 7 times power the poison, the son of the woman. So fierce and burning was the poison that the child died, and fire broke out in the home. Which, damn. Uh, she didn't tell him to do that, so they did it on their own. I guess they really did not like that someone said no and wouldn't hear out Isis. Um, Isis didn't really care at first, but the scorpions were like, "You're not doing that." So they killed her son.
God
And
damn.
apparently the poison was so strong that it started a fire. Don't know how that happens, but it does. We're just gonna roll with it.
It's actually
Um,
acid.
you think so? You
I
think
don't know.
think maybe like it burned through his body and into the floor and caused like a torch to crumble off the wall?
Could be, yeah.
Possible. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But somehow a fire started. The woman Glory cried and lamented, but no man listened to her, and heaven itself sent water upon her house. Her heart was full of sorrow when she remembered how she had shut the door in my face. I would have rested in her house. The sound of her grief came to my ears, and my heart swelled with sorrow. I turned back and went to where her dead child lay. And I, Isis, the mistress of magic, whose voice can awake the dead, called aloud the words of power, the ones that even the dead can hear. I laid my arms upon the child that I might bring life to the lifeless. Cold and still he lay, for the sevenfold poison of Tephan was in him. But I spoke magic spells to the poison of the scorpion, saying, O poison, come out of him, and fall upon the ground. Advance not, penetrate no further, come out of him, fall into the ground. For I am Isis, the speaker of spells. After I spoke the spell, the child recovered, and the fire was stopped. The rain from heaven had stopped. And the woman Glory brought all her wealth, her bracelets and her neck ornaments, her gold work, silver work, and all, to the house of the marsh woman, and laid them at my feet in token of repentance that she had shut the door upon me. To this day men make dough of wheat flour kneaded with salt, and lay it upon the wound made by the sting of a scorpion, and over it they recite the words of power, which I recalled over the child of Glory, for I am Isis, the great enchantress. And that is the first story.
Okay.
So, this one doesn't really have a whole lot of meaning, but I did like the fact that it included scorpions because
Yeah.
we had never spoken about that. To the listeners out here, um, I have owned 3 scorpions before in my life. I've had 2 black emperor scorpions, and I've had 1 desert longhair. I love them. I was also like 12 when I owned them. They were awesome. So not gonna lie, even though this story doesn't have a huge significance, uh, I just thought it was cool because I like scorpions. I was like, oh damn, I've had those before. So, I read it and I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah,
nice that ISIS had done something nice for once and fixed up basically her fuck up. Uh,
yeah,
not that not that she told the scorpions to go, but she probably should have kept a better rein on them or better leash. So
yeah.
because of that, a kid died and a house burnt to the ground. But then she was like, oh, I guess I'll make this right. And she did. So another reason I did the story was ISIS had done something nice, and we have not heard of that yet. We think she's a bitch. We don't like her. So the second story I have is about Anubis. Anubis is technically the first ruler of the underworld, and Anubis does not stop being the ruler of the underworld, more like he shares it with Osiris. And as we've talked about on my previous episode, Osiris is killed by Set because Osiris was the ruler of Egypt. And then Set got jealous and cut him into a bunch of tiny little pieces. And I did, by the way, while I was researching this, you remember how the story that I talked about never mentioned there being a piece missing, but you remembered there being a piece missing?
Yeah.
The story that I was reading about today mentioned that, mentioned that there was a piece missing. And because he was not made whole, he could only stay for one day. In the morning, uh, after Isis and Osiris had laid in bed, she woke up alone because Osiris had descended to the underworld. And basically, Anubis was like, "Whoa, I have, a lot of respect for you, I guess." So, um, it'll explain it in the story. Um, Osiris doesn't really. I'm not gonna say Anubis like gets pushed to the side, but Anubis does kind of step down, if that makes sense.
Mm.
They almost share it together, but Osiris becomes the figurehead, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so let's go through this. Anubis, one of the best known gods, famously depicted as a crouching jackal or a man with a jackal's head. Anubis serves as the god of mummification. Now Anubis took over as the god of mummification. Let me rephrase that. He becomes the god of mummification. He doesn't take over. Um, when Osiris comes down, Anubis gives kind of like steps down and lets Osiris kind of rule with him, but gives him the main figurehead. And sorry, not Osiris, and Anubis becomes a god of other things. So at that point, whenever he lets Osiris take that figurehead role, Anubis becomes the god of other things. For example, mummification. Um,
Okay.
so mummification is basically an ancient Egyptian technique of embalming the dead. I'm sure everyone's heard of the term mummy in their lives. Um, Pretty simple. They use certain fluids. They take out the organs, put them in jars, and they basically empty the inside of a dead person out, put it all into jars, and then they close you back up and wrap you in like linen cloth, and that's how you become a mummy. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why they take the organs out. Do you happen to know why?
Um, I don't. I would assume it's something like how them decaying could maybe make the rest of the body decay. I don't fucking
Hmm.
know.
What I will say is that in Egyptian, uh, what is it? Culture. That's the word I'm looking for. If your body was not preserved, you basically didn't get into Egyptian heaven. Um, it was a big thing for them. One of the
So like,
reasons, go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say like it sounds to me like only the most known or most important people, because isn't that all the people that were like mummified really were the most important people?
Well, no, I don't think so, because mummification was a very large thing in Egyptian culture, but the pharaohs and the kings of Egypt were mummified and placed in pyramids. And it was something about the shape of the pyramid would allow them to enter the highest level of heaven, I think is what it was. I don't know if that's written down. I don't think it is, but I think I read somewhere today that the shape of the pyramid helped basically your soul move to a higher level, like faster or immediately, if that makes sense. So I think that if you were just like your average Joe Schmo, you were still mummified if you were lucky. Probably, like the very poor weren't mummified. They were probably just thrown into a ditch. But I think if you had a family and were like middle class, you could get embalmed and then like put in a grave. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, I think so.
but it was something about the pyramids and the shape of the pyramids that elevated pharaohs to a higher level. Because otherwise, Egyptian heaven would be very empty.
Yeah.
Anubis's main center of worship was at Kenopolis, which means dog city. Uh, the culture of ancient Egypt existed for thousands of years, and over time, the role of Anubis changed, which is whenever Osiris was revived and then went back to the afterlife. That is when that role change happened.
Okay.
Um, oh, here we go. This is good. Thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt, jackals would dig up bodies buried in shallow graves and feed on them. To ancient Egyptians who thought that a person's body needed to be preserved in order to enjoy the afterlife, this was a fate worse than death.
Shit.
Yeah. Um.
So like if somebody was, I feel like how they thought of it was this is totally skeptical by the way.
Mhm.
Um I feel like it's or, fuck. I'm trying to think of a better way to word it. Sounds like to me that if a jackal comes and feeds on a mummified body, that person wasn't really worthy to be mummified.
You know, another way that you could maybe look at it, maybe this will make sense to you, is if your body was dug up by jackals, then heart weighed more than a feather. So your heart was devoured and you were sent to Egyptian hell. And because of that, your body was no longer needed to be whole because you wouldn't.
Right.
So, like maybe they thought of it like they saw it as a sign, like, oh, yeah, I saw jackals had dug up the grave of fucking, you know,
Bill.
yeah, Bill. So guess that means Bill was a shitty person and his heart weighed more than a feather with the sin he had. And they just went on with life.
Yeah.
That would kind of make sense to me.
Yeah.
So, to ancient Egyptians who thought that a person's body needed to be. Oh, I already said that. Oops. Okay. We're going to keep going. Consequently, people would pray and make offerings to Anubis to spare the bodies of their loved ones. In this way, the jackal became associated with dead, and Anubis was worshipped as the god of the underworld. As burials became more complex, another pest became a threat: grave robbers. After powerful people died, they would be buried with their favorite possessions and other valuable objects. Ancient Egyptians believed that the deceased could enjoy these objects, but the value of the goods would often attract thieves. To ward off these grave robbers, uh, stone carvers would carve into like tombs, sculptures and carvings of Anubis. priests would inscribe curses into the walls, invoking the Anubis and promising punishment in this life to anyone who desecrated the tombs. So he was also kind of the god of protecting the dead, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because he would basically place he would I don't know if he placed the curse or if the curse was basically that he would punish them if they desecrated the grave. Um, but basically, later in Egypt, Osiris rose to prominence and replaced Anubis as ruler of the dead. He retained an important role in mythology. However, he was credited with inventing the mummification process, enabling mortals to live on in the afterlife.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. And I guess right here it says that Thoth created the scales that Anubis would weigh the hearts on, which makes sense because he's the god of knowledge. If anyone would know what your life would be like, it would be him. So he probably created something that like could immediately read your heart and like look at your sins and then weigh it based off that.
Yeah.
That is all for me today. That is the end of that story. Um, not really a story if that makes sense. It gives a little bit of a backdrop, but there was no actual story. Uh, but I did like it because it gave us a little bit more information about Anubis, and personally, I really like Anubis. So maybe after this, I'll see if I can do an actual story on him instead
Yeah.
of
That'd be cool.
instead of an information dump. So which one was your favorite?
Which story is my favorite?
Yeah.
Definitely the second one. I like learning. I like I like the whole information,
Mhm.
getting more information, so I know. I really like learning about one individual god at a time because I really like, I guess, digging deep into that
Mhm.
god and learning about specifically them.
Yeah.
So I
That.
did like that second one a lot about Anubis.
Mhm. Gave you a bit more information.
It
Kind of
did
probably
because
fill in a little bit of, I guess, gaps in knowledge.
I really don't know. I know the bare minimum of Egyptian mythology.
Mhm. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Uh, Next episode will be your turn.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to change it up a little bit.
Gonna change it up a little bit, he says. This is funny,
Yeah.
viewers, because you're not gonna know jack shit. I know a little bit.
Yeah, I gave Caleb a little teaser, but I will not be doing Norse mythology next week.
Mhm.
Wanted to take a slight break from it.
Mhm. I will also likely be taking a break from Egyptian mythology, and I think next story that I do, I will talk about something else. Um, Now I think I will give them a little teaser. Uh, AJ doesn't have to. AJ likes to be vicious. He doesn't like he wants everyone fucking chomping at the bits. Like he doesn't
I'll,
want anyone to know anything.
I'll give a teaser.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's my teaser. One of the, I would say probably one of the most known and or strongest gods in probably just about any mythology.
Okay. Don't tell him what type it's from.
Oh well.
Okay. Good. Good.
I
Good.
mean,
Good.
honestly, that teaser might even just give it away to the people that know. But
Nah, because they could think it's like the fucking Indian purple goddess that has like 9 arms that all hold swords.
yeah.
It's not that one. I'll tell you that.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Okay, okay.
But so AJ will be doing that. Instead of telling you a little bit about the story, I will just straight up say it is going to be Uh, cryptid. It will be a cryptid story. It is, and I hope you guys like this, and I hope you're okay with it because some of you might not consider. I think it's technically called cryptology, and some of you might not consider that mythology. Um, I'm not going to tell you which one I'm doing. It will be a fairly well-known one, in my opinion, but it's not going to be boring. I'll put it that way.
I feel like it's a very well known Western Hemisphere.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen any, uh, let's say, like, for example, Asian, African, um, like, you know, versions of this, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely more related to our continent and, like North America, Mexico, um,
North
even,
America, Central America.
yeah, even like Canada, I would say. But,
That's part of North America, dummy.
oh yeah, North America to me is America. Canada's not, we don't like them.
No, America is a fucking continent, dog.
Yeah, but
We're
America
United
is
States
America.
of America.
Yeah, but we're like the ones that we have viewers in like Canada and stuff, so I'm not gonna say we're the ones that matter.
Oh, you're fucking dumb.
No, I know I'm not. I was taking over your role. You're the very patriotic one, and I was over here like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go America. Everyone else sucks. Canada, you're not America. America's America.
I am very patriotic, but I am also a humongous geography nerd
Nerd.
and or just geography in general. Just I love history in general. I huge nerd.
Man, you really took
So
that fucking fourth grade in Mr. whatever his name class where you had to
uh,
learn with the animated thing.
oh no, I know what you're talking about. That was seventh grade, Mr. Prather.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Prather. That dude was scary looking when we were in seventh
yeah,
grade.
he was pretty scary.
And he was like, "All right, class. Today we're gonna learn about continents. I have a video." And you play it, and it's like they're called like the anim something. And it's just like New Mexico, Canada, da 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 da. You know?
I don't know why, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was funny. I liked it. I like doing it. I do like geography a lot. I feel like those are also the easiest tests to pass. 'Cause it
Oh,
doesn't
for sure.
change.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, well, do you think we have anything else?
Um, I I don't think so.
Okay, well, um, guess today's title will be Anubis, and so look out for that. Uh, if you're listening, that's the episode you clicked on, so congrats, you found it. Um, but I think if that's the case, then I guess we'll plug the link tree. How about that, huh?
Did it?
So, anyways, guys, uh, thanks for listening this time. Um, we're gonna have the link tree plugged in the Podbean episode. It'll be in the description. Click on that, and it'll show you everywhere you can contact us. Find us on social media, Facebook, email, Twitter. Um, what else is on there?
Discord.
Oh yeah, I thought I was missing a big one. Discord is
Yeah.
Discord is the big one, guys. We'd really love for people to join our Discord. We're trying to get it set up in the way that like you join and you're like immortal, but as like maybe we'll get because I have a bot that I can get us that's like as you type and talk more in the Discord, you get levels. So it's like every 5 or 10 levels, you get upgraded from like immortal to like a demigod or something like that.
We could go through the oh shit classes, I guess. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like peasant, fucking noble,
Yeah.
all that bullshit up to and then
Kings
demigod. I know demigods aren't like necessarily above like a
like a
noble in
pharaoh
class.
or king. Yeah.
Yeah, but
They are
fuck,
stronger.
more
They're cooler.
powerful, so we'll put them
Yeah.
above them.
Yeah. So, for sure, join our Discord. It's free. Um, you don't have to pay, so just go ahead, get in there. Uh,
Biggest plus.
yeah. Get in there. And we have a suggestions channel. So, if you would like to hear something from us, that's probably the easiest way to do it is hop in our Discord and just talk to us. Um, we have a general chat if you just want to come ask questions, but if you'd like to suggest something, you could always hop in and actually just be like, "Hey, I think you guys should do this." And then we'll be like, "Yeah, that's a smart idea," or "Fuck you, ban," and you're gone. Uh, no, I
True.
don't think we'll do that. But yeah, seriously, me and AJ record in uh, the voice chat in our Discord, in a thing called Olympus. That's where we record. So
Yeah, we have it set up too. If we ever want, or anybody really wants to, we'll eventually maybe throw somebody else in with it, so we can have. It's not only set up for 2 people can get in here. We have a max of 3 people in our voice chat, so we can always have like somebody added in here for a full episode, whatever like that.
mhm. Special guests. Who knows, man? You know what I think would be cool? If we get enough people, let's do a QA session.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, like we'll be like, all right, everyone that wants to ask a question, get in the general chat and just dick around for 10 minutes, and we'll just one by one drag someone up into the chat with us. They can ask us a question or two. We can answer, talk to them, and then get them out of there and get someone else in once they're happy?
Yeah,
That'd be cool. But
I
we need you guys to make it happen.
really love our Discord to get big. That'd be so much fun.
Hmm. Yeah, I almost thought about putting it on, like, there's a list of, like, you can look up like discords, and there's like a list of like a million discords, and you can type in like hashtags and stuff, and it'll show you you know every discord that in their thing they have that hashtag, and you can like, I think, pay to get your discord recommended to people. So maybe we'll do that. Anything else you want to tell the people?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace out.